Welcome back. The Musk Twitter drama reaches another level. Elon Musk using the whistleblower complaint against Twitter as another reason to walk away from his deal to purchase the company. Musk calling to postpone the legal battle so his lawyers can investigate the claims made by Twitter's former security chief, Peter Zatko. Joining me now, NetChoice Vice President and General Counsel Carl Szabo. He's also the professor of law, internet law at George Mason University's Scalia lawsuit. Great to be with you this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. You know, this is really interesting when it comes to Twitter and Elon Musk, because my thesis has always been that he doesn't really need to buy the company now that he has sort of exposed what's going on at Twitter, made it part of the public discourse, and really made people aware of what's happening out there. Do you think that they're going to force him to buy this company ultimately?
You know, thanks for having me on. This is yet another step in the ongoing saga between Musk and Twitter. And just like any professional sporting event, each side is looking for the slightest advantage they can get. And this is an advantage that Musk thinks he has now over Twitter. As they go to the negotiating table, as Musk tries to run away from the deal and Twitter tries to force him in. But as I just wrote the other day over at foxbusiness.com, what we are seeing is the real winner, regardless of who ends up taking control of Twitter, is the American people. What Musk has done has exposed and reminded Twitter that it needs to service all of its customers regardless of political ideology. And Twitter heard the message loud and clear. They reinstituted people and conservatives like Alex Berenson back onto their platform.
Yeah.
And the other wonderful thing is this proves that the market is working, because the last thing that we want is the government to come in and start dictating what is and is not allowed to be said online. And we've seen this from this Biden administration with its disinformation governance board led by Mary Poppins in an attempt to control what we see, hear, and know. So we're much better off with the private sector making these decisions, and this Musk Twitter engagement is yet another example of the free market at work.
I think you're right, Carl. Meantime, the Federal Trade Commission considering drafting new rules on commercial surveillance and data security practices that could restrict how businesses are collecting using consumer data. The agency holding a public hearing, or set to hold one, a public forum rather, on the potential changes early next month. Your take on this and the FTC's policies?
Yeah, the Biden's Federal Trade Commission, FTC, as you mentioned, is out of control. It is actively seeking to break apart and undermine American businesses. And this quote-unquote privacy effort is the latest endeavor. Today, the number one concern amongst Americans when it comes to what happens online is theft and cybersecurity. And this proposal does nothing to deal with it. Instead, what the Federal Trade Commission seems to want to do is take a war against advertising. Now, nobody likes ads, but at the end of the day, we don't pay a nickel when we do a Google search. We don't pay a subscription fee when we go to Facebook. It's all paid for by digital ads. And this war by the Federal Trade Commission on advertising will just result in more ads, more pop-ups, and more paywalls. And it's something that the folks over at the Federal Trade Commission just don't understand, because none of them have worked in business. They don't understand how these systems work, and they refuse to do their real job, which is addressing the spam and cybersecurity problems that we are facing. We are much better off letting Congress create a national standard for privacy and cybersecurity than allowing a bunch of unelected bureaucrats over the Federal Trade Commission to set these rules that will end up doing nothing and just causing more problems for American businesses and the American people.
Carl, real quick, because I only have a moment left with you, but the FBI responding to Mark Zuckerberg's claim that Facebook censored the Hunter Biden laptop story because of an FBI warning about Russian propaganda. In this statement to Fox Business, the FBI says it was a routine notification and Facebook was not asked or told specifically to do anything. Your thoughts on this?
You know, I want to know more about what the FBI knew when it sent out that notice and the timing of that notice, because it seems awfully coincidental that the FBI would send out a notice to Facebook just moments before the Hunter Biden laptop is dropped. Congress is starting to ask the right questions. They just need to ask the right people.
Yeah.
They need to go after the FBI to find out what they knew, and when they pressured these social media platforms to remove content.
The timing is certainly suspect. Carl Szabo, thank you so much for joining us. Great to see you this morning.
Thanks for having me.
The next hour of Mornings with Maria starts right now.